Hello and welcome to Fire Emblem D&D. Week... I believe it's 4 now? Yes, it is. It's week 4 on the Hard to Ruin.
Is it? I thought it was 5.
I believe it's 4. At least I have it on YouTube. The last one uploaded was 3. Or I could be horribly wrong and it will be fixed on the thing that you're watching right now. Later. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Guys, excited for today's continuation of last week's game?
I sure am.
Excited.
Terribly
Last game
excited.
was the most exciting game I've ever been a part of.
I'm so glad you thought so. You were so helpful and so involved. We were very proud of you.
Saved Sebastian, okay? That's my contribution. You're welcome.
I saved Sebastian.
I mean, if we're trying to get technical,
He was gonna get 8.
I saved Sebastian, but I digress.
Did you get like vampire teeth in you? Were you like concerned about that at all? Because was it killing you?
So, who wants to do the recap?
I will do the recap since I was so involved last game, and I really feel I am the most fitting person to do it. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
The woman who we saved, Lisa, told us that the creatures came from the ashes of those burnt at the stake. That and his scram discovered they can sort of phase through walls or something. They leave a black stain on the wall when they do this. We continued to check out another house with a lit fire, discovered a man named Scandriel, who is unaffected by the plague. Sorry, was that not good enough? Would you like to take it?
No? I just like to provide
Context?
criticism as you go.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll accept all criticism. Scandriel, who is unaffected by the plague and has been taken out the beasties that attempt to come up to his home. He's a pit fighter, you see. We convinced him to help us by telling him he's gonna get a statue built in town. 1 foot for every beastie that he kills. He ran off to the church where Lisa said most of the people were cleansed. We all followed, but Sebastian and Vannon were the only ones who could keep up with him, so they were the first to meet 3 beasties. They took one down. Sebastian went down trying to protect Scandriel, so Vannon grabbed him in bird form and flew him back to Annalise, who healed him. Sebastian and Vannon ran back to see who Scandriel had killed another one, and then Sebastian bicycle kicked the final one to death. Then the Scandriel collapsed. Vannon flew to the top of the bell tower to ring it and attract any more survivors. He noticed a ritual circle at the top as well. As we entered the church, we saw the same blood writing on the wall as we did at Hide and Keep. Dun dun dun. Hide and Keep, for everyone watching, that's actually pre-stream stuff. It's just bloody symbol on the wall. We messed with it, and then everything came back from the dead and tried to kill us. So that's fun.
Yeah. What Minotaur skeletons? Okay, nailed it.
Yeah.
No,
Alright.
because we ended with Vannon landing in front of Annalise.
So, round of
Kinda
applause for Kane, but for Annalise reading.
You can give Sarah the inspiration, or give people the inspiration. That'd be better, I think.
Actually, let me check to see if he already has one, because if he does, I could just give it to you. He does not, so...
I feel good about this.
Alright. So,
Not
Actually, we're supposed to be on the church map. Or
Not
the world
yet.
map.
not yet.
Okay.
So,
It's not ready yet, he said.
as we jump into today's game, we pick back up immediately where we last left off. Everyone taking pause, looking at the gore written across the back of the wall, taken aback by its familiarity between what you've encountered before in the past, besides Sebastian and Lysa. And Sarandel, being unconscious, doesn't have really much of an opinion at this moment. As the scene picks up with the group taking this in, Sebastian, you kind of notice them in a little bit of awe or concern, though you're not too sure of what, though the symbolism on the wall is still enough to make you a little concerned, but it still just looks like more of a gore visage to scare people off.
Seeing this thing, I'm gonna tell everybody what it's just a hunch, but perhaps that's not supposed to be there.
It's not. We encountered something similar to this. And I turn to look at the sigil. Is it any sort of... What does the drawing represent? What are the markings? Is it a skull? Is it just like a sigil of like magic runes?
From what you can tell from this one, as you were of the other, it seems to be some magic runes carved in what looks like a upside down 7 with a horizontal or a diagonal line going through it, and then a circle around it with what looks like magic signs.
As I'm still looking at it, I kind of turn my head to speak to Sebastian. Sebastian, I don't suppose you have any sort of knowledge in cleansing rituals?
Do I? Do you want me to roll for that?
Let's see. Go ahead and roll religion.
Okay, sure. Boom. I got a whopping 7. What does that get me?
You know more of the more immediate physical, not magic runes, more diseases, things of that nature.
I'm not too well versed in runes and sigils and stuff like that.
All right. I had attempted to cleanse this last time and it didn't go entirely according to plan. We had the dead rise to face us. Granted, I wasn't prepared to cleanse it in a religious sense. I was merely trying to clean the wall.
Before you touch that, perhaps you should look upstairs.
Up at the bell tower.
Yes, there's some sort of religious altar or something up there. I noticed as I was ringing the bell. They might be tied together, so perhaps checking them both before you do any action towards them.
I think that's probably more than wise. Thank you, Vannon. I look around the room. Knight, you said that Randall was unconscious?
Sarandal.
Yeah, Sarandal is unconscious due to exerting himself from
Sir Randall. I thought it was Sir Randall, like he was a knight and his name was Randall.
Oh, no, his name is
Got
Sarandal.
it. All right. He's unconscious?
Yep, unconscious due to fatigue.
Oh, like not like healing stuff?
Right.
Oh, okay. I kind of glance over at him, do that quick assessment medicine check, make sure that he's not going to kneel over and die, and kind of nod and be like, all right, I'll head up the stairs.
Is the blood trail leading to the stairs going up or down?
It looks like it's a drag marks heading up the stairs.
And these are the stairs leading up. Behind us is just the stairs that were leading to the temple.
Behind you is the stairs leading outside of the temple, back in the courtyard.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
And in front of you, to the north, looks like the stairs going up to, you assume, the bell tower, or might be a different room.
I make my way through the church cautiously alongside the trail of blood, but not stepping in it because that's not me. Is this church, like, does it just look like a church of the light, or is it for any sort of smaller deity or for any sort of other purpose, or just run-of-the-mill small town church of the light?
It looks to be not the equivalent to like a super church of the light, but like a small, comfortable backwater town church of the light.
Okay, so I'll move slowly with like almost a little bit of reverence and sadness to kind of how this place got desecrated with this. Looking to my right, what do I make of this bone pile there?
It actually doesn't look like bones, it looks like pottery, shattered to the ground.
Do I recognize if it was like a holy instrument, if it was like something made for a collection or anything, or just looks like regular pottery that maybe would have come from outside the church?
Bending down, you see that looking it over, go ahead and make a religion check. Or a history. Your choice.
They are... Wait, are they both the same for me? Yes, I am trained in both. I'll make a religion check because it seems fitting.
I could help by trying to put pieces together. Mend them together.
Oh.
You got any tree sap to stick them together with?
Magic. It's mending.
I'll leave that with you, Scram, then. Let me know what you find. And I'll continue forward, because there's things that need attention.
Do you think it's worth barricading the door? Putting a couple of pews in the way in case anything tries to come through.
Vannon, you had rung the bell, though, to alert any other survivors to our location. Probably anything else in the town, but I'm more concerned about the survivors not being able to find a place of sanctuary if they are coming to the doors.
We could make a choke point.
I believe the windows are all blown out, too, so, I mean, barring the doors might not prevent anything from coming in anyway.
Fair enough.
I think I recall Knight saying that last week. The windows are all shattered.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I'm just noticing this pile of wood here. Does it look like it's almost firewood, as if to build more of those stakes, or does it look like building supplies?
It looks, as you look above it, the roof collapsed and fell and
Okay.
crushed this pew.
Okay. Again, just before I make my way up to the stairs, I'm just glancing at the other notable objects in the room. Like this just looks like a pile of trash there. The altar with the one open book. And,
Which do you
I
want
don't
to
know
check
what
first?
these are. I'll go, being myself a completionist, I'll go the opposite way of the objective and look at these things.
The old religious artifacts that were put here either as visual aids or something to study.
Okay, but like nothing that I recognize as carrying holy water or like urns for ashes or anything like that.
It could actually serve the purpose for both, but from what you can see and their age, you assume not. Like these were something to be protected and was most likely shown as a way to for worship and or study, not for practical use.
Okay. So, okay. I kind of nod and make my way back to Ben. And sorry, I don't mean to detract. I just feel like I'd rather get a grasp of the situation down here before I attempt to decipher a ritual circle. Do you want to explore those debris in the northern corner there?
Sure.
I'll take a look at the altar here. I take a step forward.
Actually get the altar to do exactly what I want, but imagine an altar split down the center as if some heavy axe blow cut it in twain, and on one of its standing pieces, the rest crumpled to the side as the impact was strong enough to actually break the foundation of the rock, stands a solitary book opened that looks to be leather bound. Just by its simple appearance, you can tell that it's missing pages that's been torn out of it, though. A good amount of pages that seem to have script on them are written, and doesn't look like it's been left here intentionally, but it's definitely something of note.
Looking over the pages that aren't missing, is it a scripture? Is it a holy book?
So, as you open the book and...
I thought it was open.
Well, as you take the book and look through it,
I'm not picking it up.
then you're just looking at the page that's there?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, it's open on one page that spans across the entire page. can choose to read that out loud if you like.
I will read it in my head. Because this isn't a horror movie and I'm not summoning the evil ritual thing. Oh, right, but you mean just for the stream. That makes sense. Annalise is reading it in her head. Midsummer of 905. My heart hasn't felt this swollen since I found the warmth of the light. Eliza and I couldn't be more compatible unless we were bound by the hip. Her son Drake is a smart child with an ambitious future ahead of him, too. He even has an ear for the word of the light. I feel truly blessed to have them in my life. She may be the one I've been dreaming of my entire life. This comes of the anniversary of the Demon King's defeat. I may ask for her hand. Even if I'll have to give away my position as High Summit, this is my dream. High Summit, Mark Greenhorn. What year are we currently in?
The year currently is winter of 910.
Okay.
So
hard for me to
Priest fell in love with our damsel in distress and was going to marry her, but shit hit the fan and now he can't.
Not the damsel of distress. Eliza.
It's Liza, isn't it?
No, I actually mixed it up myself. It's Lisa and Liza.
Okay.
I accidentally gave you guys a...
That's a big change.
Yeah. That's okay. So Eliza is someone that the high priest. Do I recognize the name of this high summit priest? Is this like the high summit? Is that a title meant for this small church, or is it meant and kind of in a grander sense of the church as a whole?
Normally, high summits are the ones that are case in point, like in a Christian religion, the preacher of the church. So,
okay,
a high-ranking official that governs how the church moves in a direction.
Yeah, but okay. It's just again putting it in real life terms, it's not like the Pope or anybody in the Vatican.
Right.
It's just the individual. Okay. So I wouldn't know the name, but I would know the title and what his role would be.
Correct.
Okay. I'll flip back a page. Very delicately.
And if you may.
A page before, early spring, 900, 5 years before. I'll have to ask for forgiveness for no one else but myself. With the help from the mayor, we took Scandril's daughter in the night. What the fuck? Sorry, Sir Randall's daughter in the night. The couple I married last winter are planning to move further west, and I begged them to take the young girl with them. I have to be honest, I didn't expect them to agree to such a ridiculous request. I can't say with honest heart that my soul doesn't feel the weight of my actions, though. I've never seen a grown man cry with such passion. We told him when she left for Grotto with a passing merchant band. Bleh. That was the last I saw of him, sadly. Throughout that sadness, a new family came to town. A boy and a charming bell-carved beauty. No, bell-curved beauty. And she is my vision. Okay. I flip back one more. Go back and these out of the order because it's just more confusing. Vannon, come take a look at this when you're done there. I kind of lean over. Late winter of 889, so a year before the last entry. This is a long one. So I somehow managed to lose my other journal, again. But I have faith that this one will be a lucky one. I had this particular notion since it was a gift by a lovely expecting couple that I met today. They approached me at the temple today for a wedding blessing. My first, actually. Ever since I became the High Summit here in Old Grey Valley, I've been hoping and praying for a chance to really shine as their only religious figure. Well, since the last High Summit passed. So even a simple wedding blessing meant the world to my self-confidence. On other news, Sir Randall was fished out of the horse troughs again. The man has an issue with the bottle that I wish he'd let me address. Speaking with Mayor Travis Harklin, Sir Randall lost a wife no more than a year back and never really recovered. As much as it pains me, the loss of such a degenerate wouldn't be such an issue if we could save the only light that I see in his possession, his daughter. He doesn't take care of her well enough, in my opinion, leaving her hungry and crying while he's too drunk to care, or disappearing for days on end with her alone. Maybe if I had more influence or more reason for the people here to listen, it could give me enough leeway to get the young one a new home. If only everyone understood how much I truly cared about them. Well, time will tell. High Summit, Mark Greenhorn.
And then looking to the side, you also can see that there's something that's specifically newer written on the inside cover.
I flick back one more page so I can read the inside of the cover. This is long again. Apologies, everyone, if you're bored of listening to me read. Please don't judge our lives by the state you see us now. If you're reading this, I'm afraid that I, Mark Greenhorn, didn't live to see my people out. In any case, I'll use this journal as a guide for those who find themselves trapped in this nightmare. I cannot promise whoever reads this all the answers. I myself am still confused on everything unfolding in this damned trap, but I will still try to help those who need it, even you, stranger. Some things I am sure of. 1, the intricacies of written language is dead to them. 2, entering in and out of doorways seems to affect time on me and my fellow townsmen somehow. What? And 3, they are not unintelligent. It looks as if their goal is to take us to that profaned, and defiled structure I refuse to acknowledge as my temple. Great. I implore those who have ever found my journal to stay away from blasphemy to stay away from the blasphemy of all things good. A deep-seated evil sleeps there now. When I know to be too far gone, I'll leave this book at the main entrance to aid anyone who comes to this place. I hope it doesn't come to that. Could everyone come take a look at this? And I quickly flip past the ripped pages to see if there was any other journal entries past the 3 that I read.
There is. Does anybody want to save Annalise and read the other 2?
Yeah.
Alright. Phoenix, you can read 4, and Sebastian, you can read 5.
Excellent. I'm 5, right?
Yes.
All right. Mid-spring of 909. Sarandel returned today. He changed. All those memories and regrets seem to wash over me like a fountain. I know he hates me, hates all of us. I don't blame him. We took away his only remainder of his daughter and made him waste 20 years of his life on a phantom. In the afterlife, if the afterlife is open to all, will I be courted by the angels or beaconed by the demons for my deeds? On other news, Elisa brought me a puppy. He's a mongrel, but he shows promise. She named him Ace. Strange name for a dog, but it doesn't matter. This time, next week, we can be a real family. High Summit, Mark Greenhorn.
All right. Entry number 5. Early winter of 900. Witch hunt.
Is that... I just... Sorry, Annalise looks over and sees the date and says...
It's fine.
Oh, no, that's supposed to be 910.
Right?
You're right.
That's... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
910.
All right.
Jeez.
No problem. Early winter of 910. Witch hunters came today. The things I've seen. To save everyone is my job. My mission. It's been days since I have seen Eliza. And being locked up here is doing me no good. I'm going to leave the temple and check the main square's fountain. Luckily, I have Ace here to keep me grounded. I'm coming.
And I quickly explain what I saw in the other couple journals, just so everyone has an idea of what's going on.
You might want to put that in your pack. We're probably going to need this as proof of things that have happened here.
Does the book look worn or aged terribly at all?
It looks worn. and obviously shows its age if the entry should be trusted, of being a 20-plus-year-old book. Though, the entries, it seems to be 3 ripped out pages after the 5th that seem to be missing. If anything indicates on the cover, you assume that he would have left more.
It seems he had wanted to leave this journal as a note for people coming to explain what happened here, but why he would take pages out from it, I don't understand.
I doubt it was him. The first people to come across this, perhaps the witch hunters, probably didn't want us to see something.
But why not take the whole tome?
Set this place with the creatures in the first place. Because the first part doesn't really give an indication of their plans or how to stop them. It's just musings of a priest. Chances are, the further he got in his journal, the more he found out about what was going on, and they probably did not want others to know.
So why not just burn the book instead of ripping out pages?
I agree. And I doubt it would be the witch hunters. The last entry that is still there mentions that their first arrival. It's taking out the midsection, the section right before Sir Andrew came back. I'm curious. It says Sir Andrew has changed. I wonder
Maybe
if perhaps
Sir Randall ripped them out. Maybe he's been here before. Maybe there is a page there that details where his daughter went, and he ripped it out so he would have the address.
Perhaps. It says he returned, but I don't recall it saying that he left. I'm curious if that would be his journey, or the reason he left, the way he left.
He said he went to Gardo to be a pit fighter. Maybe the return is him coming home.
Grotto, that's where they sent his daughter. Maybe they found her.
Apparently.
Perhaps it's my own troubles, but I fear I don't trust the way that I used to. How well, when you fought alongside him, Vanin and Sebastian, how well do you trust this man?
I don't.
He is quite capable, but he is a little trigger happy.
Rash. It says, thanks for highlighting things, Knight. It says these creatures, the written language is lost on them. I'm curious why he would add that detail in. Do you think this is this vampirism that we're seeing? Do you think that's a slower process? If Scarangel really does have this sort of disease or this sort of infection, did he somehow lose his ability to read? Is that a test of some sort we could provide to him?
We could also use it to leave notes around town. Write a big sign saying, avoid this area, go here instead, so the dead wouldn't know.
Yes, perhaps. I think we should make our way deeper into the church. It does warn us, so we should be on guard.
We're going as a group, or we keep holding someone back to keep watch over the civilians?
Kane, would you prefer to stay behind?
Yes, I don't mind if I need to stay behind. I can watch over Sir Randall, just in case if he deems to be untrustworthy. As well as he looks over to Lisa. But what you said, how did it end? The journal?
The man was going to go check the main fountain. Is there anything by the main fountain that was worth checking? Did we explore it ourselves?
He shakes his head. Is it possible that was supposed to be a clue and they could have left, or he could have left something there?
It's quite possible. Should we go check that out before delving deeper here?
No.
We've rang the bell. People are coming. May as well get this place safe first.
If anything, we need to concentrate on the defilements here for people to come.
And there's that mark that they had at hide and keep. I think
Or
we should break
prepare. The bell might not just summon innocence, you realize. The bell
I
could
agree.
also summon the creatures.
I agree entirely.
It's best to check this ritual quickly and then prepare for a fight.
that. I can stay down there, start barricading windows.
The main fountain, did it seem like, was it far from the temple, or is it like right outside? Is the temple not in the center of the city?
No, the temple's not in the center of
What
the
kind of
city.
heathen village is this?
The temple is almost the northern point of the city.
This bit about the dog, do you think that was the dog that we found earlier?
Could be.
And the man that claimed it was his dog? I think it's his
I don't know.
Greenmore.
I'm going to roll a knowledge nature to see if that Scotty dog that you mentioned looked like a mongrel. See if my knowledge of small terriers is up to snuff.
Isn't mongrel just another word for
It's
mutt?
just a, yeah.
A mongrel just means multiple species.
Yeah, it means it's not a purebred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess you can determine if it's a purebred something.
I rolled a 5.
So no.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't know dog.
That's 100% dog.
You think?
It had fur and
It
random
could be
legs. I think it's a
5%
dog.
ghoul still.
Let's go back. What's a mongrel?
It's 95% dog, 5% ghoul.
Great. Mongrel.
Sure.
Okay, we are wasting time.
Yeah. Let's go upstairs. When I flew down, could all of us even go upstairs is basically the point. Because a bell tower is usually tall and skinny, right? Like, I mean, especially with Scram, is it even possible for us all to get up there all at once?
It would be a tight fit. A very tight, uncomfortable fit.
I'll stay down there. If you need to get down there, hurry. I don't want to be blocking the way.
I'm a little concerned about delving deeper into the temple. It says it seems to be the vampire's goal to lead us here. I'm afraid we'd be walking into a trap.
Well, we're already here. And it's
Yes.
already a trap. But best to disarm the trap before the rest of the creatures get here.
I'm very tempted to go check out the fountain.
We don't need to worry about that right now.
What if we do, Vannon? Wouldn't you rather have all the information? A quick jaunt. The rest of us can take a short rest. I know, and I'll look over at Sebastian. I know it might be better to rest shortly.
Let's
That would
do
be,
one nightmare at a time.
Also, what time of day is it right now? We've been in this town for quite some time.
Taking a cursory look outside, it seems like it's beginning to wax. Wax is setting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sun's beginning to wax.
Wayne. Wouldn't it be Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne is disappearing.
The
It's like
sun
the
would
last
be beginning
wake.
to wane.
It'll
Thank
be
you.
nightfall soon. If there are actual vampires here, we're not going to be in the middle of town. We want to be in a semi-defensible structure.
I believe we don't want to delve further into the temple, though.
How big is this temple? I think she's thinking this thing is like multiple stories and huge. I think it's just a simple one-story thing with a bell tower, right?
We've had objects before and environments before that have been deeper than what we've witnessed.
Yeah, it's just a matter of going up to the bell tower. It's not. This isn't a huge building. We've seen already 90% of this building.
We'll go look. I don't feel entirely comfortable with it without seeing the rest of the options, and honestly, I'd like to rest, but I'm not sure I want to rest in this defiled place.
If you go to the top of the bell tower, you can at least scout out where the fountain is. Save us wandering.
We fly there, maybe quicker too. But let's go enough for now. Let's head.
Let's not travel too
deeper.
far from each other.
No, it's not.
I'll wait with the prince.
I'll head upstairs. Sebastian, would you like to accompany me?
Well, as long as I'm not in any more trouble, then yes, of course.
Any more trouble?
Any more pain.
Are you still in pain?
I'll just hand you a sack of healing potions from my hip.
Yes, I am still in pain, out of character. I'm hurting pretty bad.
I don't know, because I wasn't here last game. I hand you my pouch of good berries. I have 8. They heal 4 each? That seems accurate.
You have... I actually didn't mark your good berries off. You have, 1, 2, 3...
2 less?
2 less?
At least 3 less.
3 less.
I thought Lisa
It
had
has
1.
5.
Lisa
So
each
each
one
one-
2 to Sarandel and 1 to the mayor, I believe. Because we haven't rested since we got to there.
No, I marked off the ones to the mayor myself.
Okay.
So each
So 2
potion.
to Sarandel, I think.
Okay, so then 6.
Because he was like, he gobbled it immediately and said, "Do you have any more?" I think.
Wait, that happened the first time we
No,
when we met the
Sarandel
first
didn't
person.
get a good
that
berry.
happened.
It was,
Because we've
Yeah.
been basically...
it was only
handing
1 last
to
week,
everyone.
I believe.
Okay. And I marked off the 2 that I gave to the first guy we encountered. So I hand a bag of 7 good berries to Sebastian. They heal 4 each.
That is a lot of good berries. I think I'm gonna eat 3 of them right now.
Wait, I lied. They heal 3 each.
3 each, yeah, that's still good. So how
What?
many do I get? 7?
You have 7.
Okay, yeah, I'll get some. I'll get some in my tummy right now.
Okay.
So I'm back at 29.
How many do you take? 3 or 4?
3.
Sorry, I got caught up so much in anything. I should have noticed. I'm so sorry, Sebastian.
It's no problem.
It is a
He's
problem.
got more hit points than me now.
I look over at Vannon with concern. Vannon!
More interested in solving the problem than worrying about stopping the heal. So
Uh,
I have life drain of 17 points that I have to sleep away, but I'm still voting for not sleeping and getting the ritual thing gone first.
well, I'm going
Basically,
first
Vannon
then.
looks like a
Both
ghoul.
of you need to stand behind me, all right?
He looks emaciated, and he looks like he hasn't eaten for a month. Life drain's a bitch.
Are you sure you don't want to stay behind? We'll call out. I'm sure you'll hear if anything goes awry.
Venon's already flown up to the top.
Damn it. Like right now, or just you have it in the previous thing?
I flew.
I
to
go up the
top, so
stairs.
I have to trudge up the stairs.
Go up the stairs.
Stairs are boring.
I guess I'll go along with Annalise.
Then Scram and Kane will stay down with the unconscious Sarando and the still nervous Lisa.
And I'll
During my time downstairs, I'm going to try and maneuver pews to block the windows. Like, stand them on end, try and form a bit of a barricade.
And since Kane has 20 strength, he should help you.
Yep, 2 strong guys downstairs.
Alright, you'll get working on that. So, as you 3 make your way to the bell tower, Vannon flaps his wings outside of it, kind of standing there in a hover, as he watches the 2 of you push open the hatch that leads its way to the top of the tower. Looking on the floor in the area, you see a small circular rug with fetishes and ritualistic pieces that look to be belonging to some type of profane ritual.
I move to roll the rug up to see if there's any sort of markings or a ritual circle beneath it.
Moving the rug, there doesn't seem to be anything there. What it looks like is the candles are burnt out. The incense or material used to burn it has been burnt, and anything of particular note has already been done, in your opinion.
Question: does this look a bit like looking at the effigies and the things, the ritual items? Does it look like an evil thing, or maybe something that was an attempt to cleanse the area, like a good holy ritual that I might be familiar with, or arcane, or religious but evil? What do I investigate with this investigation roll that I'm rolling right now? It's pretty good.
You're able to tell that the items in particular use don't give you good feelings as you see burnt carcasses, what looks like shriveled up pieces of flesh or an animal's tail, you can't be sure. This definitely gives off the air of some dark things happening here.
I think you were right to bring me here, Vannon. Can I deduce the nature of what this ritual might have been?
With this cursory look,
With my 15 investigation. It's not cursory, I'm going through it.
without knowing the nature of what magic went down here, only thing you can tell that it was not in a good mindset. Rituals that you know that exist can span from... Go ahead and roll Arcana. Or Religion.
Or one of each to cover both bases.
So what you know is... It's one or.
Okay, I rolled a religion then.
So what you know that religious rituals can do, depending on a lot of soul power for most of them. They like to harness people's life force to do whatever effects that they hope to incur. It could be anything from summoning a plague, or making a drought, or in worst cases, killing an entire town. Though, you just know them in a general sense of almost encyclopedic knowledge of, oh yeah, there's this one, there's that one, there's this one. You can't really point out what this one is.
Just to get a feel for some world lore, when you say there's religious rituals that bring floods and stuff, is there a religion that's evilly aligned, or is there just demons and the demon followers?
It would be the demon and the demon followers, which would be their religion.
Okay, so this is more of a cultish circle, less of a... Okay, understood. And it looks like it's no longer pulsing with energy. It's obviously been done for years. Lights burnt out. This has been done. There's no way to disturb the ritual circle. If I did it now, I'd just be sweeping dust.
Change the light bulb, please. Anything that has been done has already gone through.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking. I'll look around the rest of the room to see if there's anything else of note here.
Not really much of a room. It's just a small circular stone blocking with the bell in front of you. Or above you, actually.
Anything inscribed on the bell?
While she's looking at the ritual, I'm going to look outside, too, to see if there actually is anybody coming up the streets or anything. Make a perception check.
I'll answer her than you. Looking at the bell,
yeah.
There is things inscribed on it, but it looks like scriptures about the light.
I like this passage.
As you're looking out across the town, Vannon, you see movement, but nothing that looks human. And nothing that's heading this way in particular, just things moving in between streets, going out of sight between houses. It's starting to become a lot more lively as you look around.
There are definitely more creatures here. They don't seem to be particularly making their way over yet, though.
Great. How many do you see?
Do I have a number? An indication of number?
So far, you've counted 20 individual heads.
A lot.
How many is a lot, Vannon?
Owl grin. Probably best not to know.
Could we take them in our current state?
Not without a strategy. But they don't seem to be all coming here yet. Maybe a few will wander over at a time.
Are they wandering the streets or heading in our direction?
They don't seem to be coming straight here yet.
Right.
Of course, that could also mean they're just gathering up to come in a bigger number.
These creatures don't strike me as so intelligent, but perhaps I was wrong.
Well, if they can't read, they probably aren't that intelligent. But
The fountain, do you see it?
can I see the fountain from here?
From where you're flying up, you actually can see the fountain. It's a large marble structure, the symbol of the current King of Frelia, defaced and defiled, broken and missing half of its torso, crashed into its marble structure, breaking off the wall, letting whatever liquid holiness or goodness that was inside it drain away a long time ago.
It's there. It's been more or less destroyed, though.
Probably too dangerous to make way over there and see if we can find any sort of hints. That would make sense. So what now? Were we spending the night here? In this desecrated town to see if we could find any more survivors? Or what?
I think we should just wait. Wait to see what the bell brings.
Waiting's good.
While we're doing that, perhaps have a quick rest.
I'd want to take one more look at
Short
that
rest,
altar.
as it will, as it were.
I'd want to take one more look at that altar downstairs. Something's not quite sitting right with me. But there's nothing I can do here for this ritual. I can't even discern what it was used for. Any sort of calamity, I'm sure. But Sebastian, I'm sorry. I keep asking you and deferring to you to see if you know anything about this. But while you hold the light, are you particularly trained in any sort of their ways, any sort of rituals, or?
Well, if I were to be honest, I'm not, although I do follow the light, I'm not too religious. All I do is heed their advice and do whatever it takes to be a decent person.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Vannon. I've never been one to take leadership, so this is odd for me to not have someone to defer to. I feel like ever since we lost Adriana, I've been stepping into a role that I never felt prepared for. I wish I had more to offer. I'm sorry. We should head back downstairs and rest.
Benda will nod.
I want to head back down the stairs. I want to look at that altar again. The line, leave it at the entrance, is bugging me. I want to see if there's like a secret passage behind the altar or something.
Alright, before you do that, while you guys are having that conversation, Scram and Kane, while moving
Boy.
pews, you find one that causes some concern as you see a scar in the actual earth that drops down into a chasm beyond your visible sight of deepness. Within a darkness that's so tangible that you almost feel like you can reach out and touch it. It looks more like a pool of oozing darkness than an empty cave.
I'm assuming there's like loose stones and stuff around it.
Yes.
Yep. Let's pick one up, like squeeze it in my hand, cast light on it, and hold up to Kane. Should I drop it in? Or do we want to try and block this up?
I'm not feeling so confident about this place being somewhere we should stay. Give it a try.
Bloop.
The moment it passes the ground to drop into the hole, it flickers a couple of times before being snuffed out, as almost if a palm of darkness grasped it and took it out of sight.
Well, that's not good.
So back to the mayor's house it is.
Let's not drop anything else in until the others get back.
Who would give a nod?
As I focus my entire attention upon that hole. And the demons within.
So, as you guys come back, you watch as Kane and Scram are paying furiously attention to one pew that they've moved that looks to have been covering a hole. But once you guys get closer, you see, much to the same of how I described it, not much of a hole.
There's a bit of a pit here. I think there's something down there. Might not be wise to stick around.
Something down there?
It's dark, like, unnaturally so. Don't you remember when was fighting Negan?
Try a torch?
I tried the magic stone.
Do you feel magic emanating from it?
I haven't tried. Kinda don't want to alert it more than we have. Might be able to sentence me if I do anything major.
I don't like this town. I see no reason to fight it. I feel like we're going to fight more and more desecrated areas along our journey. The whole country is filled with demons, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I don't see what we can even do here, aside from save who we can and leave. Close the gates, bar it with a message.
Figure out what caused it.
And then what?
Warn people.
More people in other towns, in case this spreads?
Yeah. So, big old black mist comes rolling in, bar your doors, black your windows, lock up your daughters, sort of thing.
I think we might need to speak to Sir Randall, see what his role is. He's mentioned far too often in the priest's book.
Have we tried jamming the berry down his throat? Wake him up.
He's not injured, he's just exhausted. We
He's
all
injured.
are.
Like, he was
He's not-
tore apart, wasn't he?
Torn apart.
He's pretty hurt too, but the passing out, I think, was just a play on when a barbarian exits rage, they're exhausted.
Yeah. Have that, or he's got the
Or
barbarian
he really
ability,
was
lets
at
him-
0 hit points, and then
Yeah, allows him to go under.
the rage allows him to stay up long enough.
Did we see how deep this pit was?
Stone dropped for about a second, then got snuffed out by something seemingly grabbing it.
Did you hear it fall or land in anything, or just silence?
No. I mean, I'm all for just chucking a big old ball of fire down there and seeing what happens, but
Didn't the High Summit say something about this in his book?
thing lurks below.
I
Might be the
don't
thing.
recall. It said something about being an entranceway. Something desecrated and defiled in this church, but
It's on the cover, wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
So where exactly is this hole thing?
Bonus test.
Okay.
Are we in
And
a shape to fight, or
I'm assuming we're back down here, right? And just talking about the hole.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, can I drop my wheelbarrow in there, or is there not enough space?
No.
genius plan?
Wheelbarrow's
I
too
would
strong.
I would say yes, there is. It's 5 feet wide and 10 feet deep. Or actually, it's around 15 feet or 15 feet in length and 5 feet wide. So yeah, that's wheelbarrow size.
Okay.
It's
No,
5.
I was just wondering. I wasn't actually
Oh,
gonna
you're
jump.
talking about a hole. I was picturing a like a rabbit hole, not a hole big enough for a wolf to sleep in.
Um, I'm. Hmm, I'm gonna throw a couple of darts in there just to see if there's like any actual things. Like probably grabbing stuff from the
See if
entrance.
anything yelps.
The
Yeah,
book said there's an insurmountable evil sleeping below.
yeah. Screw that evil.
Yeah, we want to throw darts at it.
Insurmountable evil. We're supposed to fight this now.
Are we?
I don't know, but it seems. Sebastian, are you looking to fight it now? If you're going to be, I'm watching you as you're like have your darts in hand, like looking at the hole.
Sebastian is going to say, well, in my hometown, we had a childhood story that we used to tell each other. There was this thing. It was called a goblin, and they usually popped out of holes. And I assume that this might be one of them. I'm not sure though.
With all the terrible things you've seen, I mean, I've heard of goblins as children's stories, but this seems far greater than that.
I mean, in my hometown in the desert, there's also massive scorpions and giant worms and demons and manticores and stuff that sleep below the sand, so it's not worth poking them with a stick or a dart.
Can I make a wisdom check to see if I should heed their advice or not?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm gonna. Sebastian's gonna think about it and then put his darts back and say, maybe next time.
Yeah, sure.
I'll look over at the altar. I want to see if there's any indication of a secret passage or anything.
Looking at the altar and how it was destroyed, something put great weight behind their swing to almost like an axe swipe, break the altar in half, cutting into the ground itself and scarring the area, leaving like an impact wound in the ground itself. Strange enough, as you make your approach, the impact wound doesn't seem to be something like an actual axe hitting it. It actually reminds you more of like people that you watch as a kid that walk through doing circus things where they have the strong man that karate chops bricks.
Vannon, what weapon did you say that our friend there uses?
His hands.
Great. Have a look at this, would you? What do you make of it?
It looks like Someone destroyed the altar with more of a blunt weapon than a sharp weapon.
Perhaps that's all it is. Yeah, I'm being foolish. You're right. No hints of secret passage if I move any of like the altar pieces. Nothing underneath, around, behind.
Go ahead and make an investigation check. As you pull around some of the rock, you pull out what looks like worn, tattered, grayish, used to be white, pieces of fabric that intermingled with the rubble.
Do I know what this fabric might have been used for in this church setting? If it was like a tapestry or someone's clothing?
Feeling the material feels very similar to your priest robes.
Are they bloodstained? Or ash-coated or anything?
They're grayed from being dirty and over time of uncleanliness. You don't see any real blood stains on it, no.
There would be like no pockets or anything like that, I can't imagine.
Oh no, this is just like ruined strips of fabric. Almost as if the equivalent of if someone was like wearing a glove and impacting something really hard, and in the process the fabric of the glove being destroyed with the rubble, and then that fabric just being left behind.
Oh, it's just like very... Okay. I was picturing like an actual like tangible fabric, but it's like strands.
Right.
Okay. Know?
Oh, we never did determine where does the trail of blood actually lead to.
And I assumed it led to the ritual circle because there were like corpses and stuff.
Well, did it go just right to the ritual circle and that's
Yes, it did.
Okay. But there was no body big enough.
No human-sized body, no.
Maybe he was thrown out the tower.
I don't particularly want to go down to the hole. You don't particularly want to go to the fountain. Do we want to gather the elderly man we spoke to at the beginning? Take him back to the streets to try to hold up here for the evening?
Well, on 2 more houses we can check.
Check those 2 more houses. Move soundly.
Wouldn't it
We
be
have enough
preferable
lights
to
in
just move back to Sir Randall's place? He seemed to have that well fortified enough.
Oh, he's asleep on a pew now, isn't he?
Could probably wake him. I have a few questions for him myself.
Perhaps if we take an hour here, then he'll wake up and can carry himself back to his home.
I can always carry him if need be, but...
We should move before nightfall. I'd rather wake him up now, not wait an hour.
I'll just walk up to him and pour a little bit of water on his head. From my water skin.
That's a rude way to wake someone up. Scram.
He's unconscious. You might wake him up.
It's better than slapping his face, I suppose.
Sir Randall?
Giving him a... Go ahead and roll a medicine check. Will you? Thank you very much.
Talking to me?
Yes.
For saying
Yeah,
his
him.
name? Okay.
My assist with water.
Yeah,
Never
he
mind.
She
is
don't need it.
unconscious. It's not as simple of smacking him awake. He's unconscious due to being almost fatigued to death, actually.
Great. We should bring him back home. Scram, would you mind?
Yeah, no worries. Heft him onto my shoulder.
Gently now.
It's tough. He'll be alright.
Alright, Vannon, did you want to go up high? See if you could find the best route to the cities the one with the least confrontation.
Where's the goal? Back to his house?
Yes, we'll establish that as a place to rest for the evening.
Not
The
going
King's
to
is well
attempt.
fortified.
Not
What
going
was
to
that?
attempt. You're not going to attempt to go to one of the other houses that still has survivors?
I'd
That's
like
up
to,
there.
but I'd rather not carry an unconscious man through the streets.
Yeah, let's drop off the
Going to
dead
do
weight
that
first.
direction.
If we can find a path where we can hit the other houses and then head back.
From the watchtower, what's closer, the next one of the two houses that are left that have smoke, or the house that we came from? Because I thought we had to run
So,
quite far. Like,
Yeah, Sarando's house is about 15
several
minutes away
minutes.
from here. So the closest would be one of the two houses. But you notice while you're flying up, one of them seems to have an increase in smoke, the other one has a significant decrease. The one that's closest has an increase, the one that's further has a decrease.
Can I see any creatures like on the roof or on the ground near either of those two houses?
Most
Or
of them
in
is
between us?
actually on the majority of the other side of the town, moving in with the shadow of the sun going down. So the shadow hasn't actually hit that side of the town yet.
So, okay, that's actually a lot more useful information. I will fly back down and say, the creatures are moving with the darkness. They're following the shadow of the fading sun towards us. We're better off to head to the houses that the sun is still shining on than to go backwards at this point. One of the houses seems to have lit their fires stronger. It's providing more smoke now. The other one seems to their fires going out, which to me indicates that the person inside may no longer be tending the flames. So we should go to the one that has stoked their fire hotter. That they're more likely to be still alive.
I'd feel awful if we were just too late to save someone. But I think you're right. Let's go then.
Well, go on then. Yep.
So as you make your decision, moving to the closest house to find sanctuary, we're going to take this time to take a break. So, thank you guys for watching. We're going to take ourselves a quick 10-minute to 15-minute break to stand up, get something to drink, use the restroom, all that fun stuff.
Yay.
So, we will see you guys back there in that time. Peace.